Incorporated, downtown Lexington. And we've got a great staff and very experienced, and that's really what we're hanging our hat on, that we've got well-trained people. This is literally our 100th year in business, so I'm the third generation.
Awesome. Adam?
Yes, hello, my name is Adam Gold. I'm the regional sales manager for Kaleidescape. I cover the Great Lakes region, which consists of 13 states, primarily the Midwest and the Plains states. And I'm an industry veteran of almost 30 years, both on the commercial and residential side.
Perfect. Tim?
Hi, my name is Tim Pierce. I'm project manager and I oversee sales and design at Barney Miller's. I've been there almost 25 years. So I'm glad he still has me around.
You know, it's so funny. The other day, I realized I've been in the industry for 29 years.
Years go by quicker and quicker,
right?
don't they?
Yeah, we got you whooped.
I know. So Barney, to set the stage, just discuss Kaleidoscape. Tell us a little bit about the main elements of a home theater. What are we looking at? Set the scene.
Sure.
How does Kaleidoscape sort of fit into all of this?
Yeah, for starters, Kaleidoscape has got to be one of the coolest products that we've ever sold. And it's the number one addition that I can think of to any home theater system. Home theater systems that we sell are really, there's a lot of variables to them. There's the dedicated theater, which really in the last few years has really been popular. So, that's a room that has acoustic treatments. It has theater seating, most of the time a video projector. So I would say 120 to 130 inch screen is kind of our norm, and great sound, of course. And when you add a product like Kaleidoscape into that mix, you've really got something. We want to make sure things are easy to work. So a one remote solution or an app-based thing or a combination of is what we go with there.
Perfect. Well, Adam, you're from Kaleidoscape. So explain to us exactly what does Kaleidoscape do?
Well, Kaleidoscape really is the ultimate movie player, and it elevates pretty much every component that's within the system by offering the best possible source at the highest resolution, both from a video and audio standpoint. So it makes your projector look better, it makes your speakers sound better, and it really just creates that experience that you just simply cannot get with a streaming device alone.
Some people, I know I didn't quite understand this. What is a movie player? Explain what a movie player is and how it operates.
So essentially, it's a source. So within your home theater or your system, you have several sources. And so this source plays movies, which are purchased through the Kaleidoscape store, which I think we're going to get into a little bit later. But yeah, it essentially is the source for your content to enjoy within the theater or a dedicated area, which has a surround system, or maybe not. It depends on your setup.
Right. So my understanding of it is that it gives you access to movies. That's why it's called a movie player, right? How is it different from a streaming service?
Well, a streaming service is dependent on the internet because you're actually streaming that content through your internet service. So if the internet goes out, hence you do not have any entertainment if you have a streaming device alone. This could be a Roku, Netflix, Apple TV, whatever it might be. Kaleidoscape operates quite a bit different, where it actually is a hard drive where the actual content and the file is downloaded fully to the hard drive on the Kaleidoscape system and then played to your display. Okay. We are not dependent on the internet for when you're ready to watch a movie or to enjoy your system. So if in fact the internet does go out, it does not affect the Kaleidoscape system. It will continue to play.
Very cool. So Tim, I'm sure you're explaining Kaleidoscape all the time to your customers.
Of
when
course.
You come to the showroom, and I'm sure you fiddled around with it and you install it and so forth. Give us a sense of how it fits in with all the rest of the equipment, you know, in a home theater setup. Like, you know, is it a server or is it, you know, does it have components to it?
So typically the system consists of, so you have the main server, which that's essentially where you download all the content to. And then you typically will have what's called a movie player, and that's going to be connected to all the device or displays in your house, whether it's projector, flat panel TVs. And then from those players, you're actually pulling content that you previously downloaded on the server. And you can actually watch up to 10 different movies throughout your house at one time, which is really cool. They also give you the ability if you can watch up to 5 different movies at a remote location. So if you have a vacation house or, you know, other, you know, properties, you know, within the United States, that gives you the ability to watch multiple, you know, programs at one time.
Right, right. Adam, give us a sense of, you know, okay, we like this idea of having the movies not depending on the internet. You know, give us a sense of what the quality difference is when you get a Kaleidescape system. What are you experiencing?
Sure. Well, when you have a Kaleidoscape system, you have the full mezzanine file that is from the studio. That's typically what they send to the movie theaters. And you're able to display that at a 60 frames per second bit rate. And you also have completely lossless audio, where when you're using a streaming device, they're doing all they can to put some semblance of a 4K image up on the screen. So they really use all of their bandwidth on the video side, but then they have completely crushed audio on the audio side. So we are about 3 to 4 times the bit rate on the video, which eliminates some of the artifacting, some of the noise, some of those little things that you notice in an image. So we eliminate that. But more importantly, the audio is 10 times the bit rate than a streaming device. So typically a client will hear things using a Kaleidoscape system when they're watching a Kaleidoscape system that they just simply don't hear when they're using a streaming device. So
Wow.
it's really the experience of a movie theater in the comfort of your own home.
Amazing, amazing. So Barney, when you decided to offer Kaleidoscape, what did that customer look like in your mind? You know, I mean, here you are, you're thinking about what's the best products to include in a movie theater experience. What do you think that customer looks like?
I think typically in our instance, it's someone with a home theater system that has a front projector. And I don't know that that's all the time, but that's in my mind what it was looking like going into it. And for the most part, that has held true. You know, and people really just need to experience this to believe it, you know. I think that's, you know, something that made me want to display it in our showroom. We can even actually loan, like for the weekend, somebody a Kaleidoscape unit with, I think, nearly 100 movies on it, and they can experience it right in their home. So we're open for that. If they want to contact us and, you know, and somebody discuss that, we'd be happy to talk to them about that. But overall, I think it's Kaleidoscape's always been known as a real quality company and a quality brand. And I think that goes along with Barney Miller's, that we're always looking for the best company out there. And they've really got a fantastic, you know, setup. They've got all the bases covered in that, and it just keeps getting better and better. The memory and hard drives keeps coming down in price, so the price on these is not like as bad as it used to be. So it's really more affordable now than ever.
Well, that's always good to hear, especially in the world we're living in right now, where everything seems to be jumping, right?
Exactly.
So Adam, I think you wanted to add something to that.
Well, I did. I mean, typically, Barney is absolutely right. Typically, it is really geared towards the client who has a dedicated home theater. But we are finding now the shift. Well, this has been going on for some time, even though we are coming back to a dedicated home theater now, as Barney mentioned earlier. But it really is for somebody who has a dedicated entertainment room. Okay, and we like to say, as long as you have a 5.1 surround sound, you really can get the benefits of the Kaleidoscape system. So it doesn't have to be relegated to just a dedicated home theater. If somebody has, let's say, a sound bar with a subwoofer, they might not get all of the benefits of the Kaleidoscape, but darn it, that subwoofer and sound bar are going to sound a whole lot better than if they were not watching a Kaleidoscape system. So it really has expanded our audience, and our clientele, our client base has expanded as well, as Barney mentioned, as the prices come down, and the setups change within a home.
Yeah. And, I would imagine that at somewhere in the home, there will probably be a 5.1 setup, right? But, we have bedrooms, we have offices, we have, listening rooms and so on, where as Tim alluded to earlier, other people will be using it in the home, just not the one person. And so it's not this sort of vertical system where it can only be used one user at a time. A whole entire family can enjoy it. And from my understanding, as Tim mentioned earlier, if you have a vacation home, how does that work? If, if one person is at the vacation home and then, somebody else is at home, can you pull from it at the same time at different locations?
Yeah, it's up to 5 streams. So you could literally have, 4 different movies playing at home, and you can have one movie playing remotely, or a mixture of, whatever configuration the family viewing requires.
I love that.
Everybody's pulling from your movie store,
main
server. Is that correct? Yeah.
So you can have up to 5 separate locations using Kaleidoscape. So in other words, someone has a main home in Lexington, and then maybe they have a Florida vacation home or a vacation home somewhere else. They can have another Kaleidoscape system in their vacation home, and they can share the library. So it's really one library that can be shared within 5 locations. Within those specific locations, though, you do need a specific amount of players, depending on how many streams you want to pull from that specific local server. So if I have one system in Lexington and I have 2 players, then I can have 2 simultaneous streams in my Lexington home. If I'm at my vacation home and I have 3 players attached to that particular server, then I could watch 3 separate movies, in 3 different rooms, so to speak, on that system. But what's nice is I can have up to 5 systems and share the library. If someone does have more than 5 locations that they want to use Kaleidoscape, they can add additional servers and additional locations, but there is a separate licensing fee to expand the system beyond 5 locations.
Right. Amazing. I love it. Tim, talk to us about, about renting and buying. I know there are options regarding that you offer at Barney Miller's as part of this program.
So Kaleidoscape actually offers rental to where you get the full experience, audio and video. So you get the 4 times video picture quality, you get the 10 times audio experience, and you actually can rent the movie. You don't have to buy it. And they actually allow you to apply half your rental fee back towards the movie if you want to purchase it, which is really nice. Their 4K movies, range probably from $10 to $35, I do believe. So it gives you, a lot of versatility. And also, they have over 13,000 titles in their database. So
amazing. That's
a lot
great.
of different options.
That is very great. Wow. So, we hear about Kaleidoscape as well. When I was doing the research for this event, Adam, you have partnerships with other devices, other home devices. Can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of those partnerships?
Sure, absolutely. So we have partnerships with some of the major manufacturers and players within the custom integration industry, such as Sony, Lutron, Stewart Film Screen, Trinov, Meyer Sound, And we have partnered with these because they offer kind of the best in their field as well. And so everything that they do, we can complement what they're selling in their different products. So in other words, we can make that Sony projector look at the best it possibly can. We can make those Meyer speakers sound the best they possibly can. With Lutron lighting, for example, if there is no control system, we can actually set triggers. And so when you hit play on the Kaleidoscape, the screen masking of the screen will come in through the stored screen, and we have shades that will drop through the Lutron. And so there's a lot of things that we can do. And again, it's all about enhancing the experience for the client. It's all about them sitting down in that room, whether it be a theater or a media room or whatever it might be, and enhancing their viewing experience. And that's exactly what we like to do. And so that doesn't mean that's the only, I'm sure we have a whole team who manages the partnerships. And I know they're constantly looking at other companies to partner with, as long as we can benefit each other, mutually benefit each other, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Tim, Adam talked about all these partnerships, and he mentioned Lutron and he mentioned shading and so on. How does a home automation system? I know you guys do Control4. How does a company like that or that product fit in with Kaleidoscape?
So Kaleidoscape's unique because number one, it can work with manufacturers directly, like Adam just mentioned. It can be a standalone device. We can let people borrow it from the store, have to send them home with the unit and a remote control, and they're off to the races. We also do whole home technology, manufacturers Control4 and Crestron, and we can actually integrate that in either the app control or the handheld remote per that room. So the customer, gets a seamless experience, and it's not cumbersome to use, and it eliminates frustration.
That's awesome. So, go ahead, Adam.
I think Tim makes a great point. We do integrate with all the major control systems, and many times with these particular systems, there will be some automation and typically a control system involved. But these are our types of clients and customers who don't want to have 5 remote controls lined up on their coffee table. So certainly I would say all the time, but for the most part, there will be some sort of control and automation system. But thank you, Tim. It is possible to actually use Kaleidoscape as a standalone system, or again, integrate within some of our partners.
Mm-hmm. Barney, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I was just saying, if you can, imagine a scenario or a scene, we call it, or action, where you sit down and you pick up a handheld remote control with a touch screen in it, and you hit the button that says Kaleidoscape, or the touch screen that says Kaleidoscape. Then your lights dim, your shades go down, your projector turns on, and you're looking at the cover art of your favorite movies. I mean, it can be that simple. And that's the power of really control systems in general, is these multifunction commands, or scenes, we call them.
Right. So, I mean, that's great news that it integrates, because I'm sure that's a big question for a lot of people, especially people that do have a whole home automation system. They're like, well, how does this fit? Or is it like, is it like repeating some of those features that we already have? This is just another layer to add to all the fun of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The experience. It's really the experience.
Exactly.
So, Tim, when you're talking to someone about Kaleidoscape, are you trying to find out, is there like certain products or certain prep that should be going on? We talk a lot about pre-wiring and things like that when we're installing whole home automation systems. Is there anything like that regarding Kaleidoscape, or that this is more of, and I guess what I'm asking is it has to be in the planning stage?
Right. Each unit needs a hardwired network connection. And of course you have an HDMI cable from either, from the player to the display, or if you have a sound system, it would go usually in what's called a surround receiver. Believe it or not, I mean, internet speed is crucial for downloading the content initially. So that's something you kind of have to talk to the customer about, because either you can do it and have Kaleidoscape preload the movies for you, or if you're at the house, I mean, you could do a 4K movie in up to 8 minutes, but that requires almost 800 megs of download speed. So I think customers, definitely need to, be aware of that. And also, that would kind of determine maybe which network or ISP provider they go with, depending on what's available in their area.
Mhm, mhm.
But infrastructure is very crucial for that product.
Right. So yes, so the answer is yes, right? Yeah, we want to
Yes.
know as early as possible when we're building
Most definitely.
theater, so
Well,
that should be part of the planning. Go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say, I mean, Tim is 100% correct. However, we do go into several retro applications where a client already has a theater or a dedicated media room, and they decide, well, you know what, I want something better, and they've decided to go forward with Kaleidoscape. So in that particular respect, Tim is 100% correct. We need those outlets or those inputs on the network, but it essentially really is a plug and play operation for the Kaleidoscape. And then you would then take the driver for the control system, add that into the system. And it's really a pretty quick installation. It does not require a tremendous amount of labor or time or many hours to install a Kaleidoscape system.
Right. So with a lot of this technology that we discuss here on the Barney Miller, Tech and Design Facebook Live, it's better to know upfront, about it. But if not, you can always retrofit, right? It's not a big deal. That's where your expertise comes in, Barney Miller.
Yes, it
Probably
does.
even more so than, if upfront. The challenges are, sometimes in the retrofit as well.
Yeah, my team's amazing. Tim and the guys, they do a great job with, they've got the experience to figure that out and to talk people through and understand what they're really wanting and come up with a great solution that's easy to work.
So Barney, what is your feeling when you have something like a Kaleidoscape and the way Barney Miller builds home theaters? How close or can you replace that professional commercial movie theater experience? Are we there?
Yeah, we're there, really. Yeah, absolutely. And the picture and sound quality is amazing. Now, there's obviously different levels of equipment that we sell. So depending on what your performance preparation, what you want in a performance in a system. So we've got some incredibly good speakers, amplifiers, projectors, and then you plug in a Kaleidoscape as the fuel source for it, and you've got an amazing solution there. So yeah, we're easily there. In addition to that, it's just a more comfortable environment in your home. You get some nice theater seating. It's a very comfortable environment, and you're not having to get out of your house to go really experience that.
I mean, I'm just looking at the background of Adam, what he's sitting in front of. I mean, look at that. I mean, you can't beat that, right?
Yes, I wish this was my personal home theater, but it is not. It is a background. But yes, that is our what we call GUI, our graphical user interface. And honestly, Kaleidoscape has been and was way ahead of its time. This GUI, this interface is what the client sees. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can tile things. So when you go, you can search by a specific genre or actor or director. So let's just, for example, you're looking at a Marvel movie. Well, then all the other Marvel movies will tile around it, so the client can see all of the Marvel movies that are in their particular collection. It just makes it very easy to navigate, very, very fun to use, and very, very aesthetically pleasing, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. And ease of use. Barney, you wanted to say something?
I was going to chime in. We've talked about movies a lot, but one of my favorite things about Kaleidoscape is concerts. And I'm a music buff and a concert buff, and they've got an incredible amount of concert videos on there. Like our store, we've got a 130-inch screen with a Sony laser projector and a great sound system with Macintosh audio and that type of thing. And it's just awesome. It's literally, you feel like you're sitting on the front row of the concert. And that's one of my favorite things about it. And they've really expanded their library, and maybe even Adam can touch on that. They've, over the years, Kaleidoscape has really developed a relationship with, I guess, just about every studio. I'm not a guru on that, but the movies are just about endless.
Sure. Yes, Kaleidoscape, currently we have relationships and agreements with about 53 studios currently, and we're always
I didn't know
looking.
there was that many.
Yeah, there is. There is 53. We have an incredible content team that they work tirelessly to do the analytics on what is the most popular type of content, what our customers are watching, and then they really do their best to go ahead and get more of that content. As Barney mentioned, yes, we have we're probably approaching 14,000 movies in our Kaleidoscape store. We do have several hundred of concerts, which are awesome. And we also have recently worked out an agreement with HBO to where now we're getting HBO television content on the Kaleidoscape store as well. So we continue to find what's the best entertainment and content to have available to the Kaleidoscape customer.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there a certain genre of movie that's probably best demonstrated with Kaleidoscape? But
All of them.
it's probably down to a preference, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if Kaleidoscape is enhancing sound and visuals and all the other peripherals that go along with a cinema, home cinema, I mean, I don't think it'll matter whether you watch, Spider-Man, or you watch, one of the great older films, maybe a black and white. The other idea that came to my mind, and I wanted to ask Adam, is if you probably have in your library movies that we can't get through streaming services.
Oh, most definitely, we do. I certainly don't have a list of those titles, but yes.
But in general, because I mean, I had an experience where I wanted to share, a movie with my son, and we went looking for it, and it wasn't there. I was like, oh my God, where is Blockbuster? Yeah. We need it,
We do have an extensive library, and it is a very eclectic mix of content for sure. We have, I think, roughly coming up to 1,800 4K movies, which is the largest 4K collection that any service offers. And so that's been great. And I will just give a little anecdotal story on how we have Lawrence of Arabia. Now, this is a movie that I never watched. I believe it's from the late 60s or 70s. I don't quote me on that. But it was remastered in 4K, and we offered it in the Kaleidoscape store. So it's also on many of our demo units that our dealers have as well. And Barney, I know it's on Barney's demo unit, as a matter of fact. But at any rate, you see this film that's been redone in 4K, and there's so much detail that you can see compared to the original version of the film. Sometimes that's great, sometimes it's not so great. I mean, there's a prosthetic nose on one of the characters that you can see very clearly is prosthetic, where on the other one, on the original version, you certainly can't tell. But my point is, it's a very eclectic mix. And again, we continue to add to our store based on the analytics that are done on what content is most valuable to our clientele.
That's great. I mean, I kind of like that you could see the nose, because I think it's just representative of the time that movie was filmed, and it just gives a sense of that period of time and its originality. I think it gives it some authenticity. So I like that. Go ahead, Barney. What were you going to say?
Yeah, you were asking about different types of movies, and it is all over the place. Like, for instance, like The Greatest Showman. That's a movie we've got on our Kaleidoscape at the store, and the opening scene, the audio is unbelievable. And not only is the audio unbelievable, but we've done some comparisons where we look at a streaming version of this movie, and then we look at the Kaleidoscape version, and the guy's red jacket is just so much more intense red and more detail in it. And so there's some really cool scenes that we can show people that is just amazing how good this source is. And action movies are fantastic too. I'm kind of an action movie buff, so the sound in those things is all over the place. If a system can recreate a concert and music, it can do a movie. So it's really all over the place and great all the way around.
So you know what this means, everyone. You have to visit the Barney Miller showroom because you
That's
have
right.
to experience this. I mean, we can talk all night about this, but experiencing it would be the best, right?
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
will say with Barney has really gone above and beyond by not only displaying this within his showroom, but he's also purchased a unit that's very easily taken out into the field. And so, if he has a client who has a theater that they're doing almost exclusively streaming in, he can go ahead and drop that unit off into their home, set it up very quickly, and let them enjoy it for a long weekend or maybe a week. And, we do this all the time when we do demonstrations, where, for instance, I do A Star is Born, the Shallow song. I do this quite frequently. And, first you play it on let's just say an Apple TV or any streaming device. And the client said, oh, it looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good. And I can kind of show them some of the video anomalies that show up there from the streaming service. And then more importantly, though, then when they hear the difference, they can hear things such as Lady Gaga walking across the stage and you can hear her heels click, where on the streaming device, you just can't hear that. So again, it's all part of the experience and the immersiveness of a Kaleidoscape system. So the demonstration really makes a big difference. And we're very thankful and pleased that Barney's able to not only bring them into his environment, but also take it to their environment as well.
Very generous, Barney. Very, very generous.
Thank you. And we're really ready to do that. And, we've got a unit ready to go. It's got, I think, nearly 100 movies on it. And like Adam said, it's really pretty quick and simple setup. And we would just give them a handheld remote control for it, as a temporary hookup for, that type of thing. And it's real easy to use.
Right. Well, I think we have one question here, and I'm gonna just ask it. It says, can Kaleidoscape be used in an RV or boat? Adam?
The answer is absolutely it can be. And we have a marine division where we do quite well. And many of the yachts, they are equipped with Kaleidoscape, as well as many private jets and private planes. Obviously this is great. Your content is local, sitting on the hard drive within your system. So you're not dependent on anything else other than the network to get it there. So yes, it can go on an RV, a boat, or certainly a jet as well.
Yes, people want to take their Kaleidoscape on the road with them.
That's right. Yeah.
And people do. People
yes, I mean, and especially when, I'm glad you pointed it out, Barney, especially when you start to think about, concerts as well. People think just movies, and, it's called a movie player, right? But, I think in, the past 2 years, we've learned to watch and experience a lot of things in front of our screens, and concerts being one of them.
Right. I love them.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, we've got quite a few concerts we can play for people, and we've got some different scenes set up in the store too. So we've got some action movies, and then we've got some nature movies, and we've got some concerts and things like that. So it's real easy just to go from scene to scene, and you can actually build your favorite scenes and things like that. So it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. So Tim, I mean, what is the regular download time for something like this? For like, say, you want to, once the library's up and you want to keep adding to your library, how long does it take to download like one movie, like if it's new? And
if it's a 4K movie, I'd probably say 8 to 10 minutes per movie, I guess, but it would be dependent on their internet speed, of course.
Okay.
But that's 800 meg download speed. Then most people are probably 400 meg maybe, so you're probably looking maybe 20 minutes or so. But
So
But the
that's
beauty with
not too bad.
Kaleidoscape is when you order the unit, you can go ahead and have them download all your pre-selected movies for you. So you don't have to worry with that.
Right. So I guess you go through a whole intake form, or, you know, I think you had mentioned it's available on your phone as an app, right? So someone can take their
Mhm.
time with kind of choosing, sitting down and really choosing on the app what they want to download, right?
And another nice feature too is Kaleidoscape's made the effort to put together collections that they've already pre-built, whether it's, you know, based on genre or it's based on the director or whatnot. So you can kind of get some of their expertise as well, which is nice.
Oh, awesome.
So that is, it is a really very nice feature, and for some of our clients, some of Barney's clients, they might live in more of a remote area where the internet speed is not terrific. Even some clients are unfortunately relegated to satellite internet speeds, which can be very, very low. So yes, as Tim mentioned, we do have collections that can be pre-purchased by the client, and we will download them free of charge at the factory, and then ship the unit fully loaded up with a collection. Now, if a client does want to pre-purchase their own, then we do have a small download fee that we do charge, but they can pre-choose their movies prior, and then we will go ahead and do the download for them. It is roughly on a 1 gig. We always say on a 1 gig download speed, it's roughly around 10 to 11 minutes, could be 12 minutes, something, depending if it's HDR, depending on the film. But Tim also mentioned something great. We have an awesome forward-facing app that the clients really love, which also doubles as a remote control for the Kaleidoscape as well, if they just have their phone in their hand and they didn't feel like pulling or grabbing their remote from their control system. But a couple or a client can be having dinner, and they can say, well, hey, what do you want to watch then when we get home? And they could rent or purchase a movie through the app, and then hit the select download now. And by the time they get home, it'll be ready to go and queued up for them to watch. So.
Yep.
Great. Well, you know, we're coming towards the end. Is there anything else, Barney, you'd like to add, Tim?
Well,
I'd like to say,
just-
you know,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that definitely, I think people should make an effort to come down to the showroom. I've actually shown quite a few people a lot of streaming services, or not streaming, but a lot of movies from Disney Plus streaming service that we do have on the Kaleidoscape. And like a lot of the Marvel movies, I mean, the colors are, you know, they're overdriven. They definitely look very unnatural. You don't have very good depth perception, and playing the same movie on Kaleidoscape, it's a night and day difference.
So different. Yeah. Now I'm excited. Now I want a Kaleidoscape.
Barney can help you with that, Allison. No problem.
Absolutely. You know, I think when people see the cover art, it's so cool. Like if you go to a concert, and then it'll all shuffle around and show you a bunch of concerts that you can watch. So just something like that's real cool. It's you have to see it to believe it, I think.
Yes. Awesome. Adam, anything else from you?
Well, I would just say at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the experience that the clients come to a place like Barney Miller's for. Okay, they really want the experience. And when a dealer will install a beautiful room with beautiful speakers and beautiful components, and the client will decide to leave that experience up to $150 Apple TV, while they might have spent several thousands of dollars on the room. And I always say it's almost like, well, would you buy a Ferrari that had a governor that only allowed you to go 55 miles an hour in it? No, you wouldn't. Would you put regular gas to a Ferrari? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have the same experience that you're really looking for. So I think what it boils down to is it is an experience like no other, and it really does elevate all the components within your system. And yeah, it's a product that I've that the clients really fall in love with. That's the bottom line.
Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone for tuning in and for listening to us. And thank you all for joining us. Barney, any last closing comments?
Well, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in tonight. And Allison and Adam and Tim, thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it. These have been real fun, I think, and we're bringing some good tech ideas to people. Again, Kaleidoscape's probably one of the coolest things in our whole showroom. So I would highly recommend just coming down. We've got 2 rows of theater chairs. Bring your family in with you. We can play a movie, or give us a call and come in, and we can talk about bringing one out for the weekend.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.